leading Chicago 2-0. Despite Michael Jordan's continued performance, you might say enough Jordan, but not enough Bulls. For Chicago to stay alive in the best of 5, Gene Banks and the Bulls must win at home. All is not clover and shamrocks for Boston, however. Despite averaging 20 points in the first 2 games, Kevin McHale is hurt. Once again, Larry Bird and the crippled Celtics have to hold off the air attack of the desperate Chicago Bulls. Next. And the Boston Celtics will be facing that here tonight. It'll be Fred Roberts starting for the injured Kevin McHale. Larry Bird, Parrish at center, Ainge and Johnson at the guards. The Celtics, of course, were introduced just prior to the lights going out. The lights going out, I'm sure, affect all the ball clubs. But, you know, for the Celtics and Casey Jones, their head coach, you can't feel too sorry because teams have to face Celtic magic and the parquet floor. There are the Corzine from Chicago Stadium, a crowd of around 17,000 tonight. As a matter of fact, as I look in the upper rafters, I see people standing. They do sell standing room only, so it may exceed the sellout standards. And the Bulls win the tip. Michael Jordan against Fred Roberts. They double-team him into Oakley. Corzine. There's Oakley with another big rebound. He's averaging 13.5 a game. Banks missing and Parrish rebound the Celtics on the run.
In the series so far, the Bulls shooting 46.5%, and of course the Celtics much better, and you would expect it from them. They did it all season long, shooting 51% in this series.
Down low to Parrish against Corzine. Turnaround jumper falls, and the Celtics draw first blood.
Now, when Parrish gets the ball inside, the Bulls don't like to double up on him until he really starts being a real problem inside, but they're playing pretty much one-on-one.
Here's Oakley muscling past Fred Roberts, but missing the layup, and Oakley's missed several of those in the 2 previous playoff games. Stopping and firing, then is Johnson. It's 4-0 Celtics.
We talked about tempo in this ball game, and we expected the Celtics to want to run more, as we had indicated in the opening. You can tell on that play, that's certainly what they did do.
Well, this wasn't part of the Bulls' game plan to drop behind 4-0. Now they've missed every shot they've taken so far. The Celtics run again, leading 4-0. And quieten the stadium crowd. And it's Johnson open from the perimeter and missing. Hopefully with another rebound.
Of course, we've talked so much about rebounding in Oakley, but on the series, guess who's leading the series as a team? That's the Boston Celtics. They average 37.5 rebounds a game compared to 34 for Chicago.
And Ainge from 14 feet. Wilson badly gets his own rebound, however. That'll cut his 58% field goal shooting percentage down a bit. Celtics lead 4-0. Chicago has yet to score. Foul at the free throw line. It's going to be on Danny Ainge.
Well, I've spent some time talking about tempo for the Celtics. Let's talk about what the Bulls want to do. Doug Collins wants to run. He wants to take his opportunities when they're there, and obviously Michael Jordan, one of the very best out on the open floor.
Jordan getting Bird in the air, and he's fouled by Larry Bird. And now 2 team fouls on the Celtics very quickly.
You know, as good as Michael is, we have a tendency not to think of him as a human being and realize that he's got a tremendous amount of pressure on him. He's the key to this ball club, and of course, their back's right up against it tonight. They must win this ball game or it's a long summer for them. Today in this practice, he had an upset stomach, perhaps a nervous stomach.
Now they've officially changed that foul and called it on Danny Ainge and not Larry Bird, so it'll be 2 on Ainge. And finally, the Bulls score via Michael Jordan from the free throw line. Parrish with 4 points now. 6-2 Celtics. Opening moment from Chicago Stadium. Along with John McLaughlin, this is Bob Neal. Game 3 of the playoff series. Stripped away from Jordan by Johnson, but he fouled him to do it.
Just isolation basketball, you give a great offensive player the ball on the left side against a great defensive player, and in this situation, the great offensive player wins out. You see, he beats Dennis. Dennis with the reaching foul. Everyone else on the other side of the court.
Michael Jordan with all of Chicago's points early on. That's only 3. You can see that he's even averaging better this year than he had historically in his career playoffs. He's certainly not averaging more than he did against Boston last year, as he had a 63-point game and a 49-point game last year in the 3-game sweep by the Celtics. 6-4 Celtics.
We knew something was coming after seeing those last year. We've seen it this year as well.
Shot clock to 10 as Ainge drives on Jordan. Jordan fouled him.
A bit too aggressive by Michael, you know. I'm sure Doug Collins does not want Michael Jordan to get this type of foul this early in the game. And you can see he tries to cut Ainge off. Ainge plays it very well.
Danny Ainge, I think one of the most improved players in the league this year.
So, you know, if you go back just a few years, the way everyone played against Boston was pack it in the paint, push them outside, gamble on their outside shot, and I know Milwaukee eliminated them in the first round by doing just that. Well, now Ainge much more consistent with that jump shot outside for them.
7-4 Celtics. All of the Chicago points have come at the free throw line. Corzine should hit from there, and does. Celtics by 1. Chicago only 1 out of 6 shooting from the field. That was their first field goal. For 3 points, Ainge misses badly. Has Jordan in the corner. There's Oakley, powerfully rebounding to Banks. And the Bulls take the lead.
You know, with McHale out of the ball game, I see the biggest adjustment even for Boston. Oh, look inside, Perry's wide open. I see a bigger adjustment for Boston to some extent, because a lot of times when a key player is out, the team that loses him can adjust during that ball game and get through a couple of situations, perhaps not a long series, but you know, in 1 or 2 games. Of course, the Celtics have so many other people to go to, but for Chicago, to stock them up a little bit, and they want to take advantage.
Early on, it looks as though Gene Banks may return to his form of Game 1 in the playoffs when he was scoring well. Inside to Roberts. Stripped away. He stays with it. And who'll get credit for that? Bird or Roberts? Both of them had their hand on it.
I'd give it to Bird.
Bird gets credit for the basket.
Now, Chicago's made 2 key mistakes defensively and given up inside shots.
Paxson, the free throw line, and we have a seesaw ball game. Bulls 12-11.
You know, Bob, it's important to hit the jump shot, the outside shot against Boston, because they're so big inside, even with McHale out, and when you get inside on them, sometimes you can't get an easy shot off.
Shot clock down to 5. Danny Ainge hits from the perimeter over Michael Jordan, and it's 13-12 Celtics. 7:01 to go, quarter number 1 from Chicago Stadium. Bulls must win to stay alive.
Sure feel the tension in here.
Paxson just inside the three-point line. Nobody there for the offensive rebound for the Bulls. Parrish is 4 for 4 and has 8 points. He has yet to miss.
And he's had great positioning. That time he got the ball, he can shoot over Corzine, and he got it that deep with good position, good off-ball movement.
And note that the Celtics are picking up the Chicago offensive players very early in the backcourt.
Right. Not with overly aggressive pressure, but they're there.
Jordan gets the loose ball and jams.
Now guess who kept that alive? Oakley tapped it out. What an effort.
Jordan's first field goal. Celtics by 1. Oakley is playing with incredible intensity early on. Ainge behind Parrish off the glass.
They're seeing the tempo the Celtics want to play, getting quick, easy shots.
You might wonder if Chicago might go to their three-guard lineup, including Elston Turner, if they want to run more like this.
Well, I sure think we'll see it. Look at Bird. Great anticipation defensively.
And the foul is going to be on Chicago. The crowd thought Dennis Johnson traveled. Foul on John Paxson. We'll be back in a moment to Chicago Stadium. 5:28 to go. Quarter number one. Celtics lead by 3.
You know, we've discussed Charles Oakley quite a bit. Watch him work the offensive glass. See the push by Parrish, but he's still there. Contact, and he'll make the play to Banks, who will then sink the jumper. Oakley, key to that Chicago Bulls offense.
And he has his opportunity tonight because that man, Kevin McHale, is missing his first playoff game ever. He re-injured his ankle in the second quarter of the game at Boston when he came down on the foot of Michael Jordan. Kevin McHale did not practice today. They wanted to see how he felt just prior to the game. And Casey Jones had a couple of ways to gamble here. He could use McHale, thinking that if he could get back in here, they could sweep this in 3 and give him time to heal. Or he could use McHale, have him re-injure the ankle and have it really be a problem. Or, on the third option, try to win without McHale. And you look at the rebounds there for Chicago. Oakley already with 4 rebounds, but Bird has 5 for Boston.
That's right. And the field goal percentage-wise, Chicago having some problems with 5 for 15. That's only 33%. Boston's 53%.
Celtics by 4. 5:25 to go, first quarter. Banks on Bird. Got around him on the pick. Hits the layup.
Boston uses that a lot. They'll bring Parrish out or their center, whoever happens to be in the game, if it's Bill Walton, to set those screens, just pick and roll situations or pick and pops for the jump shot.
Celtics back up by 5 with 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Down to Oakley, working on Fred Roberts. Missing the jumper. Roberts a deceptively good player, also deceptively large. He is 6'10". Now he works on Oakley. Misses, and Corzine rebound. Bulls pushing up quickly. I think if I'm Doug Collins, I'd get Oakley down low and keep trying to go to him until I found out he couldn't score him. Fred Roberts. Jordan from the baseline.
You know, one of the unbelievable things about Oakley is he's not really a vertical player. He doesn't get up that high at all. He's a player that moves people out and gains positioning with his strength. And so he's good in the post-up because of the position he gets.
Foul is going to be on Banks. Gene Banks had an excellent game in game number 1 of this series, but really struggled along with everybody else who tried to play the small forward position in game number 2. Of course, they all have to play Larry Bird.
I was just going to say that nullifies a lot of it, doesn't it?
Each team with 3 team fouls.
See, there's the screen again by Parrish.
Bird missing from the perimeter. Both teams defensively rebounding well. Celtics by 3. Jordan's got the mismatch now, has Corzine on Dennis Johnson down low, and Corzine scores on him.
Same play at the other end. Corzine comes out, sets a screen, forces the mismatch. Big guy's doing a job with the pick.
Fred Roberts travels. You know, there was some question as to whether Roberts or Darren Day would start this ball game in place of McHale. Day has been playing more in the playoffs than had Roberts.
Right. And, you know, Roberts might be a bit jittery. It might take him a little while to settle down in this ball game. These guys are pros, but they can get nervous also. You know, Roberts not much playoff experience.
Jordan will go to the free throw line, an opportunity to give the Bulls the lead as they trail by 1.
His first, 14th foul. Michael Jordan.
This is just another situation where Michael tries to use Corzine, see, but he used him a little differently. He slipped between Corzine and the basket. You don't usually see that one.
Michael Jordan struggling from the floor this far in the game. He's 2 for 6, but I do remember in game number 1, Jordan was 0 for his first 7.
So you have to also remember, and of course most people realize this, whoever plays against Chicago, they key their defense to Michael Jordan. So Michael's going to see not just one person often, he'll see 2, 3, sometimes 4 people. A little bit like a boxing 1 in high school or college.
Jordan perfect from the free throw line tonight. Bulls lead by 1. Foul away from the ball. Banks was having a tough time defending Robert Parrish on a switch.
Now here you see the tail end of it, and you'll see the physical contact, but because there was a pick set, that forced the switch, and Parrish with a smaller man on him.
And because of that switch and the foul on Banks, Doug Collins has inserted rookie Brad Sellers into the lineup. He wears number 6. Sellers playing Bird.
One reason he likes Sellers, too, because at 7 feet, he can make a higher target, of course, when he puts that hand up for Bird.
Nice feed into Roberts. He's fouled. And it's John Paxson.
His second penalty.
I see in a game like this early the pressure on the Bulls because, one, obviously they're down 2-0, and two, this crowd really has them fired up. And you can see on Sellers' face, he was just a little nervous right after that first play. They feel the heat.
Fred Roberts, acquired during the offseason from Utah, broke him with the Celtics by scoring 23 points and got 12 rebounds versus Milwaukee.
I
John,
saw
I know
that
you
game.
were there probably broadcasting that game.
I saw that game. He was outstanding. He did it in the post-up. He did it off the fast break. He shot well. He rebounded well. He did everything in that ball game. Sadale 3 in for Chicago. He is, of course, their quickest player, and when he's in, he can run the break.
Dale 3, who came to Chicago also. In the last 2 years, 17 player transactions for the Bulls here. 3 came from Philadelphia for Steve Colton.
And a coach transaction, huh?
Make it 18 if you count the coach. They reverse it to Sellers with a good perimeter shot. Sellers scores from about 19 feet out. It's a 2-point Chicago lead. 2:25 to go, first quarter. Johnson open when Bird gets double teamed.
Basketball doesn't get any simpler than that, does it? Clear out, post up, double team, kick it back out for the jump shot.
3. He's open from about 15. Harris with a rebound. Dennis Johnson. He's getting older, but I'm not sure that he's not better now.
Now, Larry Bird said Dennis Johnson's the best player he's ever played with. Never played a pickup game with you, did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't get me in my backyard. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And they would normally lie.
It's tied at 22 with 1:55 to go in the first quarter at Chicago Stadium. Bulls must win to stay alive. Foul away from the ball. It's on Elston Turner, and the Bulls have gone to Threet at the point guard, Turner at the shooting guard. They're giving Michael Jordan a rest right now. Up front, we have Corzine at center, power forward Charles Oakley, and at the quick forward position, Brad Sellers.
You might also wonder at this point, is Michael Jordan having some problem with his stomach?
We'll see if we can find anything out about him. Jerry Seestein comes into the game for the Celtics. Dennis Johnson gets a rest right now. As Johnson spends so much energy defending Michael Jordan. This is a good opportunity for him to get a breather. Now this is a little closer backcourt pressure.
Well, just force them to take an extra couple of seconds to get the ball in the front court and again push their offense out a little higher. See where Sadale is? Normally wants to get into that position there.
Oakley with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Missed by a mile.
Now that was good defense, and that's the shot the Celtics want him to take, but the Bulls don't.
Parrish. Left hand over Corzine. Sadale 3. The foul on Larry Bird. Oh, never skip that. There's no foul. Just count the basket. No call at all. And the Bulls intercept and can take the lead. It's tied at 24. Sellers. Bird scores. Sellers got a little lost there. He played Seestein coming down. When they set in the half-court defense, Sellers didn't see Bird until too late.
Well, and the thing about that is when you're guarding Larry Bird, you better know where he is, not give help on Jerry Seestein out there when there's a man on.
Stolen by Fred Roberts. Fouled in the backcourt by 3. It's tied at 26, 33 seconds to go, first quarter.
Well, we've seen a couple of good defensive plays. One by Elston Turner after the Bulls scored, and he's a super defensive player. And then, of course, on this last play, Fred Roberts on the weak side anticipating the pass.
Here comes Mike Brown in for the final 33 seconds of the quarter. Brown out of George Washington's a rookie. He's 6'9", 250. He's enough to fill up some space there, I'd say.
That's quite a trade-off, huh?
You trade off the same kind of space.
Mike Brown to Charles Oakley.
Bill Walton into the ball game. He's had a pretty good playoff series.
Yes. Well, the key thing for them is, especially in game one, that the enthusiasm he came in and played with. He's playing fearless, and that's what they like to see. If Walton could bring that to the table for them, that just adds depth to their bench.
And Walton's averaging 17 minutes of playing time. They need just about that exact amount of playing time for Walton. Greek tied up, got it to Brown. He missed. Here's Sellers, a 7-footer. Now he's tied up. 14 seconds remaining in the quarter. Shot clock's off. And Roberts with the foul on Threet. Good job by Sedale Threet drawing that foul.
Well, Sedale, of course, tremendously quick, and he's in real trouble if he doesn't draw that foul. As you could see, Roberts really didn't have to go for it because he has so much size on him, and he had him stopped.
Granville Waiters gets Corzine for the last 5 seconds.
It's easy to sit here and say don't go for the fakes, but when you're out there, they look pretty real.
With 5 seconds remaining, Boston's going to take a 20-second timeout. One more free throw by Threet would tie the game. It's been a good first quarter. And the Celtics, just as you predicted, John McLaughlin, have been pressuring more and running more here with Walton out of the lineup.
Yes.
Excuse me, with McHale out of the lineup.
With McHale out of the lineup, and actually, they normally don't play that many people. You wouldn't think this is a ball club that would want to run, but they do because they feel they have that quickness and they feel they can run on Chicago.
We have more playoff games coming your way tomorrow. 10:30 Eastern Time. Los Angeles Lakers will be at Denver. Charlie Neal will have that along with Coach Bill Russell. Congratulations, by the way, to Bill. He's the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings. That'll be at 10:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night.
All of these coaches going from the microphone to the court. Do I have a chance?
John, you're missing a bet. You got to get in on that. Intercepted by Brown.
2 seconds remaining.
Who didn't make the smartest play of the playoff series because that stopped the clock, and the Celtics do have 2 seconds left. Now they throw it end to end. Bird's got a chance. Would have counted. At the end of one, it's a wild one in Chicago, tied at 28.
Here with the ball, and you'll see Brad Sellers lean towards Seasting a little bit and come into this area. Bird sees the opening and goes right to the basket. What should have happened? Communication here to here.
Aaron Day checks in for Boston.
And there's Bird for the hoop. We're ready to begin the second quarter now. It's tied at 28. Larry Bird with 8 points early on. Jordan has 10 for Chicago. Only 2 field goals from Michael Jordan, however, and he continues to get some rest on the bench as Chicago has the substitute cast in there all the way across the board. Darren Day enters the ball game for the Celtics and immediately scores. Darren Day will enjoy scoring against Chicago. He was waived by this club mid-season.
Doesn't need much warm-up time either, obviously. Wait till he gets older.
Elston Turner over Ainge. Turner, a good perimeter shooter, excellent defensive player. Tied at 30. Granville Waiters. The Darren Day miss.
For Chicago, all bench players. Although, well, Sellers actually gets starting time off and on. Turner sometimes.
Celtics have 2 starters, Ainge and Bird, in there right now.
Here's the clear out.
Taken away. Good defensive play by Granville Waiters and by Brad Sellers. Turner from the baseline again, and he scores from there. Turner is deadly from about 18 feet.
Well, and Doug Collins feels, obviously, and it's true, Sedale 3 has the quickness. He can run the break for us. And when he's in there, I want him to push it up.
Turner shot 50% from the field when he played at Ole Miss, and he is a perimeter player. Mike Brown picks up personal foul, and now Chicago getting some starters back in. Gene Banks and Michael Jordan set to return to action.
Well, Bird saw an open door to cut through the paint, and Brown became a wall, and a little bit too aggressively.
Chicago's bench with 12 points here.
Well, they've used a lot more people, so they'll have more people having an opportunity to score as well.
Let's set the Chicago lineup. 3 guards, Jordan, Freet, and Turner in there now. Another Chicago foul. It's on Sellers. So the first quarter, 48% shooting by Boston, 42 by Chicago. Not good enough for the Bulls,
No,
for sure.
No, that's right. And that tells you the story. Both clubs shooting better than that on the series.
Well, Walton missing the free throw. That's despite recent lessons from Red Auerbach. He got Walton to put his feet together underneath his body instead of one behind the other. He does hit 50% now.
I think Red knows. He knows how to shoot it. Now, I don't know if Red was ever a good shooter, but he knows, that's for sure.
Red says he was a good shooter.
Well, we have to believe him.
I do. Sellers. Bird with the rebound. Stripped away by Elston Turner. Bird didn't know he was there. Bulls are up by 1.
Elston Turner's one of those defensive players that when he's in the ball game, you've got to know where he is because he's smart, he's quick, and anticipates well.
Shot clock to 10. Sedale, Freet from the free throw line. The Bulls lead it by 3. Jordan almost had a steal.
Boy, did he time that right, Bob. You see, Walton was looking to the weak side for the pass, but once he put it on the floor, here came Michael baseline.
Sellers out, Corzine in for Chicago. Good position by Banks. He was the one responsible for that Chicago rebound. Shot clock down to 10. Off the screen, Jordan in the paint. Walton to Dennis Johnson. Just like they diagram it, the double team, the open man, the jump shot from Mr. Clutch, Dennis Johnson.
Well, that's really a fast break basket. What do? You get it up into the front court, the defense retreats, and then that leaves Dennis, the guy that brought the ball up, open.
Bulls by 1. Jordan with his own rebound. Stripped away again, and Bird starts to run. Jordan's shooting percentages are very low. Celtics have taken the lead.
When you play Boston, you cannot let up for 1 second, or they'll do just that. Dennis Johnson lays it up.
Celtics lead it by 1 with 8 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the Chicago Bulls have gone back to their starting lineup. Day, Seasting, Walton off the bench for the Celtics in there right now. Celtics lead by 1. Counted for Jordan. He's now 3 for 9 shooting from the field. Only 33%, but he's been active at the free throw line. This will be his 7th and 8th opportunities from the free throw line.
Well, now remember, I said earlier, Boston, one of those clubs that's difficult to get a good shot on when you get inside. Michael can be an exception to that, obviously, because he can jump over people, but he's facing super defensive effort against Dennis Johnson.
Bulls by 2. Oakley fouls Welton. You know, we're always talking about Larry Bird being the working man's player. Look at those shoes. He doesn't exactly match up well with Michael Jordan, would you say?
Well, Larry Bird obviously likes the shoes he has, and he's not one of those guys that uses a new pair every week. He knows what works for him, doesn't he?
Yeah, you go from gentleman's quarterly and Michael Jordan's shoe fashion to Larry Bird, and he just wants something to get him up and down the court.
Yeah, you see, one pair works on the ground a lot, the other pair up in the air quite a bit.
And Walton now, 2 for 4 from the free throw line. 37-36 Chicago. Jordan against Johnson. Takes it inside. Corzine and Walton will jump it. Jordan is getting it inside. He is not getting any fouls called down there, and he's arguing about it right now to Hugh Evans.
Now, see, because he penetrates, that brings Walton over. Therefore, no block out on Corzine, who gets where he's supposed to get to, the offensive board.
7:49 to go, second quarter. Bulls by 1. Jordan had an opportunity to go to Corzine, didn't get it to him in time. Now Oakley off the screen on the baseline. Oakley's first field goal. An opportunity, I thought, for Oakley to really score. He's averaging 23 points a game in this series, and that's his first 2 points.
Right.
With McHale out of the lineup.
He's not going to force the play either. He's going to wait and let the game come to him.
Nice pass from Walton to Dennis Johnson. Just dropped it off casually.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the best passing centers that's ever played for him.
Bulls by 1.
Now, Oakley wants to post up Walton. That's confidence.
With Oakley shooting there, you have only Corzine to rebound down there. That's not enough. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Walton faking, missing badly from there, but Parrish follows and scores. Parrish with 10 points now. Parrish has not missed tonight. He is 5 for 5 from the field. Celtics regain the lead. Jordan certainly went the long way to get the ball that time, but get it he did. Between 2 defenders, he misses again. Jordan shooting about 25%.
Well, a lot of his shots are coming, almost all of them are coming in traffic.
Johnson's open again. Fakes and drives. Now that's cerebral basketball.
Right. Well, he sets it up well, you know. He shows them the jumper and then takes it to the hoop as the defense reacts to the first fake.
We said Dennis Johnson would be a significant factor in this game with McHale out because he'd have a lot of offensive opportunity. He has 12 points now. Jordan. And we have a loose ball foul. That's the 4th team foul for Chicago. Only 1 team foul on Boston.
You know, Bob, I'm not sure there's any key to Michael Jordan's offense, but when his outside jumper's going, it makes his entire game better, as it does most quick players, because then it opens it up more inside because they've got to come out and play for the jumper.
Johnson missing this time. Rebound Jordan. Almost stolen by Seasting, knocked out of bounds. Good defensive play by Seasting. By the way, that loose ball foul previously was on Dave Corzine, his first. Now Boston has Parrish and Walton in there, along with Bird, Seasting, and Dennis Johnson.
Some little guys, huh?
Twin Towers, if you wish.
And Bird's no little one, so that's a very large front line.
Banks, nice feed into Paxson, but Seasting fouls him before he shot it.
This is a little isolation. See, they'll bring Bird out to try to get Walton out and Parrish out. Get those big guys out of the paint so the little guy can work in there, huh?
5:09 to go, second quarter. Celtics 42, Bulls 39. Michael Jordan shooting only 25% from the floor in this first half.
That's an illegal defense.
Seasting, the guilty party.
Well, Chicago set that play up to try to expose that defense. It took them just a few seconds for it to occur. Before ceasing was illegal.
Just a warning on the first time. Inbounded. They got a new 24-second clock. Jordan has the mismatch now out high. Should find somebody down there. Nobody under the hoop for Chicago. Corzine from the corner. Whatever works.
Well, good ball movement. And prior to the game, Doug Collins told me, you know, Dave Corzine's got to score for us. It's an important position. He talked about Sellers and Banks must contribute and score. So must Corzine on just that type of play.
Relatively low-scoring game, as are so many of the playoff games. Corzine with 6. This is Larry Bird off the pick.
It's a two-man screen, or a two-man game with the one man setting the screen.
Bird has 10. Jordan in that traffic again. Misses it again. No foul. Good save by Banks. Parrish inside of Corzine. The only way to be stopped was to be bear hugged. And Parrish, that's the first time Parrish hasn't scored. That's because he didn't shoot it.
Well, that's one way to stop him.
That's what Corzine was thinking.
Okay, now this is quick action. Actually, this is off the break because of the almost save by Banks at the other end. And of course, when Corzine grabs you, you're grabbed.
Celtics lead it by 3 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. There are so many superlatives to be used on behalf of speaking of the Celtics. Parrish missing at the free throw line. But I think it's true, even though it may be a Celtics cliche. Fred Roberts checking back in. McHale is injured and not playing tonight. And John, whenever one of the Celtics goes down, somebody picks up the slack. It's not always the same player. Tonight, offensively, it seems to be Parrish.
Well, depth helps in those situations. But as we said a little bit earlier in the ball game, a lot of times when one player goes down for that particular game, that team can adjust very well and come out and will play extremely good basketball, but they wouldn't want to try to do it over a number of games.
Paxson.
3. That's for 3 points. And it's now the Celtics by 2. He's hitting from three-point range. You know, these two teams set an NBA playoff record for free throws in game number 1. And tonight, they're having a nightmare. That's the 5th miss, that previous free throw in the front end of a free throw situation. Johnson.
You're referring to free throws made.
Yes.
Percentage, and yet, this is a different night, isn't it?
Now, there is a pick.
Well, in a situation like that, you know whose mistake that is? That's the back man for the Celtics, who I believe should be Parrish. Oh, he has to be up there calling those screens to his guard.
And not only that, Ainge picks up another foul.
I think Ainge saw that screen, however. How do you, he was looking that direction, and that's a large human being to miss.
It's 47-44 Celtics, 3 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Well, this is how to set a screen when you don't communicate. Now, look, here you have Robert Parrish, all right? Danny Ainge, the defensive player. It seems he sees the screen coming. Boom, there's Corzine. But what should we have is Parrish up here communicating. Hey, yell at him and let him know that that pick's there.
Can I hear that again? That's the first time I've seen hey drawn.
That hurts.
47-44 Celtics, 3:11 to go, second quarter. Michael Jordan struggling offensively, 3 of 13 from the field. Sellers. But Jordan strips it away from Parrish. Oakley recovers the loose ball.
That's illegal.
Now this time it'll be a technical foul. Bird the guilty party this time.
All right, we're going to get to see the illegal defense here. Now, look, I'm not sure. I think this is Roberts right here trying to pick him up. Now, he's trying to, look, he's lost. Right now, he's illegal until the cut through. But look, Bird gets caught, and so does Dennis Johnson. They're both actually illegal. They're caught in the paint. And here's the hash mark over here you got to watch for.
Well, Jordan really struggling. He misses the free throw. He's 3 for 13 from the field tonight. You don't anticipate that Jordan will stay that way. He has 13 points on the night.
Celtics defense has a lot to do with that. You know, Bob, you get inside, you just don't get easy shots.
Larry McHale missing his first ever playoff game, but Fred Roberts has done a good job inside as he did just then. So Kevin McHale with a sprained ankle, not dressed tonight. He's on the Celtics bench. Celtics by 3. Parrish tried to assist that.
Yeah, that was awfully short for a coach.
That's the first miss by Parrish tonight. Now Jordan finally breaks the shooting slump. He's 4 for 14 from the floor.
Other than the dunk, that's the easiest shot he's had.
Despite that, Jordan has 15 points.
Yeah.
Dennis Johnson working on Michael. Long rebound goes to Jordan.
Michael's a good defensive player.
Bulls can take the lead. This time around both Johnson and Bird. 2 field goals in a row for Jordan. He has 17. The Bulls have the lead. Threet knocked it out of bounds. 16 seconds on the Boston shot clock. Johnson came off that big Robert Parrish pick and had an easy layup.
Well, Corzine must step up and stop that penetration. He's got to give help because Parrish is setting a good screen.
Jordan initiating the offense. Nice pass to Corzine. Lowered his shoulder. I thought there might be an offensive foul coming there, but Corzine will go to the line. It's on Roberts.
Well, here's the tail end of it, but Corzine's open because he sets a good screen, and then you saw 2 men from the Celtics jump out, and that left Corzine open inside.
This program authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Coming up at halftime, John McLeod will join Charlie Neal in the studios. There's so many Macs here.
McNeil, McLaughlin, McLeod.
I'm going with McNeil myself. It's working for everybody these days. Loose ball foul. Lane violation. Check that. No foul, lane violation. Corzine will get another opportunity as Parrish stepped in too early. At the conclusion of tonight's game, John McLaughlin and I will be selecting the McMiller Light Player of the game.
I like it. I like it. And McCorzine's on the line.
And he makes good on his second opportunity. And the Bulls take the lead by 1 with 50 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Bird flashing into the paint. Nice speed from Johnson. Time remaining in the half at the lower right-hand part of your screen. Austin Turner. Corzine. I don't know where he was going with it. I don't think Dave did either. Shot clock down to 5. Sellers just launches a prayer, almost had it answered, but the offensive rebound by Turner.
Bob, that's a great example. They were having 20-second timeout by Chicago. That's a great example. Even if you don't have a good shot, you got to get it up at the glass because you might get it back, and they did.
I've said it before, Michael Jordan was taking a rest. He was not in the lineup right then. When the Bulls, they rely on Jordan so much. It's not the intention. But when they rely on him so much, sometimes when he goes out for the next play or two, the Chicago Bulls offense is disoriented.
Well, there has to be some adjustment. And actually, they've done an outstanding job all year at adjusting that way. But a lot of times when Corzine gets the ball deep like that, you know, Dave's not a leaper. And so if he can't get that shot off, he has to bring it back out. that eats up a lot of time, and then they're disoriented, and somebody just has to go one-on-one.
Okay, the 20-second timeout concludes. Here's something you don't see much anymore. Watch Robert Parrish double zero on the
No,
left
you
side.
don't. Look, and he was in too quickly. Celtics all out trap.
4 seconds remaining in the half. Jordan from the free throw line. Yes, sir. At the half, 1 second remaining. Johnson's shot would have counted. The Bulls lead the Celtics 52-51. We're back into action. In the second half, Bulls lead by 1. Parrish misses this time something that he only did one time in the entire first half. Corzine open on the break. Missed a gimme. Stolen by Banks. The Bulls by 3.
Well, that was a good anticipation from Michael to deflect that ball away. Not that many turnovers in this ball game or even the series. That's number 7 for Boston.
Danny Ainge all the way under the basket. Misses the turnaround, and back come the Bulls. They come out here looking a lot more intense than they did to open this game. Now Corzine tries it again and doesn't miss this time. Corzine with 10 points now. Boston trails by 5. It's the biggest lead of the game for the Chicago Bulls. Largest lead of this playoff series. That's a lead of 5 points, 56-51. They're on their feet here at Chicago Stadium. Dennis Johnson quiets the crowd, as he's done so many times before.
He arises.
Chicago leads by 3. 10:19 to go. Third quarter. Jordan from the perimeter. Michael Jordan shooting only 25% from the floor tonight. Really struggling. Hasn't hit a perimeter shot yet. Bird misses on the fall away. Parrish in heavy traffic. Finds the open man. It's Johnson again. Red Roberts in for the ailing Kevin McHale. Misses.
The Celtics only had 3 offensive rebounds at half. Of course, they shot 53%. There weren't as many, but that was a good effort that time.
Jordan takes it in the paint to score off the glass.
That is great concentration. You see Ainge flash in front of him, and Michael stays right with it. Good effort by Ainge, too, by the way, not to commit the foul.
Parrish isolated with Corzine, misses. After going 5 on his first 5 shots in the first half, he's over 2 to begin the second. Bulls can build their biggest lead. Paxson from Jordan. The Chicago Bulls have never beaten Boston in a playoff game. This is the largest lead Chicago has ever had in a playoff game with the Celtics. Shot clock to 8. Jordan fouls Bird.
Now, see, the Bulls' initial defense shut everything down, but then what happens is the Boston Celtics go to some other options, and that was Bird just coming off the ball, off the weak side to the opening. That's a 22nd timeout by Boston.
Kevin McHale missing his first playoff game ever. Very upset. He tried to play, and Casey Jones and Ray Melchiori, the Boston trainer, said, we do need you later as we anticipate advancing. Chicago doing all they can to stop that from happening and leading by 7 here.
Of course, McHale's such a great post-up player and gets so many excellent shots. Now watch. This is his concentration on the penetration. Watch. Look, Ainge flashed in front of him, Bird standing there, and Dennis Johnson. Again, you've got to realize, playing against Dennis Johnson is not an easy thing to do, but he kept concentration right up on that hoop.
Chicago 4 out of 6 from the field in this quarter. Boston only 1 for 7. Parrish has 2 of those misses. Make it 3. Rebound Oakley.
Well, the Bulls are doing a very fine job of not giving the Celtics second shot opportunities when they do miss.
The crowd yelling no to Oakley on the perimeter shot. Corzine isolated. Now his turnaround. Doesn't fall. There's Jordan with a reverse. Bird getting hammered down low. No whistle. And they just grabbed Jordan in the back corner. Chicago would have had an easy 2.
Smart play by Dennis Johnson.
It is not a 2-shot foul.
Great help. Look at the contact inside. Banks backs away as Bird starts to post up on him. Good help. And, of course, they want to double up Bird whenever they can and give as much help on that great offensive player as possible.
The Bulls with the biggest lead of the game. 9 points, 7:48 to go, third quarter. Corzine sets a nice screen for Jordan. Now they have the mismatch. It's blocked by Parrish. Good help. Celtics way.
Good help.
Larry Bird. 62-55 Chicago.
That's how to run a fast break properly. And what started it? Good defense, forcing the turnover.
Bird with 14 now. Michael Jordan with 23. They've cleared the side again. Got Johnson airborne.
Those are tough shots, though, because you think the guy's going to hit you, and you have to jump in or under him.
Parrish finally hits one.
One of the most difficult shots in basketball to defend against is Robert Parrish's high release turnaround jump shot on the baseline.
Now it's Bulls by 5. 6:48 to go, third quarter. Celtics stemming what looked to be a real runaway Chicago train there for 3. Oakley. Corzine. He's fouled.
Corzine and Oakley are doing outstanding jobs on the board.
That's Bird's first foul.
Watch this. Oakley keeps it alive, can't gain control. Corzine takes up a lot of space, and he's there. Right place, right time. You got to give this man a lot of credit, you know, for a long time, and up until midway through this year, even the fans here gave him a hard time when he would come into the ball game when he played. He was playing as a starter, then he wasn't. He's come back in, and he's important to the success of this ball club, and he's doing an excellent job. Oakley's line violation, I believe.
You're right. It's on Oakley of Chicago. That free throw won't count. 63-57 Bulls.
It's a real chess match down here when those guys line up. You better have some bulk if you're going to be there also.
After going all year without seeing a lane violation, there have been 2 in this ball game.
Right.
A lot of screens to get Ainge open. Shot clock to 10.
I saw 2 lane violations in the game the other night in the playoffs.
Foul away from the ball on John Paxson. Let's see. 2 team fouls on Chicago, 2 on the Celtics now with 6:17 to go, third quarter. Walton strong to the hoop. Bulls by 4. Looking for Jordan and finding him. Won't miss that one. That's the first perimeter basket by Michael Jordan tonight. He has 25 points.
Starting to get a little warmer, isn't it?
Look out. 65-59 Chicago. Bird open for the set shot.
Now, It's been rare tonight that he sees that kind of an opening as well, and that's just a mistake by the Bulls defense because they have not been too far away from him. You can't be. Great shooter, Larry Bird.
We have Bill Walton filling in for Kevin McHale now.
Travel.
Jordan came down before he released the pass. So the Celtics have Parrish, Walton, Bird, Johnson, and Ainge in there. That's a pretty good lineup. Walton in pretty good shape coming off that injury all year. His feet always hurt him, he says, but the acute pain isn't there.
Guess who?
Charles Oakley. Oakley from the top of the key, and he buries it.
So we turn around and tell these guys, he can take that shot out there.
Fans yelling no every time he gets a perimeter opportunity. Actually, he is a good perimeter shooter. The obvious philosophy is he's more useful under the basket. Ainge from outside. Oakley just ran right over Walton by accident down to the baseline. 67-63 Chicago, 4:36 to go in the third quarter. This is a significant quarter for Chicago. Should they lose the lead here, you have to ask, will they lose their confidence? Shot clock to 5. Corzine inside to Banks. Nice pass. Walton with a big block. Foul on Banks.
Well, Bird and Banks have really been going at it all night long, and he would have had an easy basket, Banks that is, but Walton was there at the right time, and that saves 2 and goes the other way for the Celtics.
Banks with 3 for Chicago. The only person with 3 fouls for Boston, Danny Ainge.
A lot of times when you get the shot blocked or you turn the ball over, you'll come back and commit a foul in some situations like that.
What a move by Bird. And a pass to Walton. Knocked out of bounds. No foul. 9 seconds remain on the shot clock. Youngest coach in the NBA with instructions to his defensive-minded Chicago Bulls. And K.C. Jones with 59 playoff victories. Tied with Pat Riley for the most playoff victories in the history of the league.
2 pretty good players, 2 in their day.
Excuse me, among active coaches.
Okay.
That always leaves out Red Auerbach.
That's right. Red. Ainge getting a number of open jump shots.
2-point Chicago lead. 3:41 to go. Third quarter. The Celtics have got back in this after trailing by 9 with defense. Like that. Bad pass.
Celtics have more turnovers now than they've averaged in the first 2 games.
Only 5 in game 2. That's set a playoff record.
Well, they're only averaging 9.
Banks muscling it. It's above the rim. Goaltending. Count the basket, and Banks is down. He is okay.
Banks and Bird again. Look at the contact. Banks crosses over. Celtics give help, but not the right kind.
Bulls by 4. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. This is intense playoff action right now, folks. Nice play by Oakley. Chicago ball.
I believe, I'm not sure, I think Bird was out of bounds when he touched the ball. That's why it comes over to Chicago.
2:51 to go, third quarter. Bulls lead by 4. Prior to the game, Chicago coach Doug Collins said that could be one of the keys.
Well, you know, I really think that when you look at the film, game 1, you know, we dug ourselves a big hole and we battled back strong. They never really gave us a chance to take the lead. They made 2 critical jumpers in the last minute to beat us. And then in game 2, we actually got a lead in the fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go. And I thought we got into a frenzy. I thought we lost our poise when they kicked up the defensive pressure. We had like 8 turnovers in the fourth period. And, you know, put yourself in a position against Boston, and you've got to execute and make sure you get a good shot every time down the floor. And well, turnovers were the difference. We turned it over 15 times. They had a playoff record low of 5, so, you know, 10 differential there, that really killed us.
And this time it's Boston 10, Chicago only 6 turnovers, and the Bulls lead by 4 and can build that lead.
And Bob, Doug talked about that poise you talked about on camera. Chicago Bulls hang on with the poise in this ball game.
Excuse me, John. How about that play by Oakley?
He's marvelous. Second leading rebounder in the NBA this season. Behind another forward.
Shortest leading rebounder ever.
Yes. Hartley, Philadelphia.
Jordan with a rebound this time. Stripped away by Mr. Defense.
Vintage Dennis Johnson defensively.
Jordan with the foul, stopping what would have been an easy jam by Robert Parrish.
His third 14th foul.
A lot of action inside. Look at the offensive. You see everyone came to Michael Jordan, and then a lot of times we'll see Oakley go out of bounds and come back in for the rebound. Paul Silas used to do that. Of course, played for the Boston Celtics. He was a great one at it. Oakley does it also.
Oakley reminds me a great deal
For Michael Jordan.
Paul Silas. Build and his inside game. Sadale Greek coming in for Chicago. Paxson taking a rest.
You know, when you're coming up at Dennis Johnson, you think you're going to beat him with that dribble. He's got those long arms and anticipates so well. He's so quick. Boy, that's how he took that ball away from Paxson.
71-67 Chicago. 1:51 to go third quarter from the stadium on Madison Street in the Windy City. Sadale Greek. Chicago ball. Ainge and the ball went out of bounds. Boston staying with this lineup. They've got Seasting in for Dennis Johnson right now, but staying with Walton filling in for the injured Kevin McHale. Banks strong to the hole, stripped away. The man with the ball, Bird. He's fouled in the backcourt by Oakley.
Charles Oakley.
So Oakley and Bird talk about something. But watch the defense here. Bird pushes baseline. Look at the help he'll get. Look, Bird gets him from behind. Walton comes over. Parrish is there. These guys, I'm telling you, are tough to shoot over. They pursue well, as Bird did. They come from the weak side. Not easy to get that shot.
We may be seeing the first part of the answer to the question, will the Boston bench be good enough to get them there? Tonight, they've had to have bench help in the persons of Fred Roberts and of Bill Walton specifically, Darren Day a little bit, in place of the injured Kevin McHale. Despite the fact they're trailing in the ball game, I'd say the bench has performed quite well.
Well, and of course, Seasting, we found him a bench player, has been all year, has consistent time, but the key to that is Bill Walton.
Walton against Oakley now, down inside. They're really banging down there. Oakley decides to come out here. Gets it to Corzine. The double team lost out of bounds. It's off of Corzine. Ainge disturbed him enough. Yes. Corzine touched it last.
The officials, by the way, are considered part of the floor, so if the ball touches them and they're inbounds, the ball's still live.
1:10 to go, third quarter. Chicago clinging tenaciously to a three-point lead. They have been up by 9. Ainge, nice drive, blocked Corzine. Walton has it stripped away by 3. 2-on-1. Banks is fouled by Seasting. The Celtics get back so fast.
Well, I count that a very good foul because that's a layup. Now watch, super penetration, but look, the Chicago Bulls getting some good defensive help inside. The steal by Sadale Creek. They have a 2-on-1. He really loses the ball there and is lucky that the pass gets over to Banks.
Banks with his 9th point tonight. First free throw. Brad Sellers checking in for Chicago. Greg Kite gets Robert Parrish for the Celtics. Oakley will get a deserved rest for the Bulls. Let's check that Bulls lineup now. Corzine, Elston Turner, Gene Banks, Sadale Threet, and Brad Sellers. For Boston, it's Greg Kite, Bill Walton, Jerry Seasting, Danny Ainge, and Larry Bird.
Oakley's a big man, and some might question his size. However, Doug Collins has told me prior to the game, and you can see when you're watching, you know, he's not a vertical player, but boy, he's so strong, he gains so much resistance. That's how he gets his rebound. Perhaps his size is important.
Walton had to change his shot. Pike loses the ball. With 35 seconds to go in the third quarter, Bulls lead by 5 and can build it. Bulls led by 1 at the half, 52-51. 3. Bird with the rebound. I thought that was a moving screen by Corzine.
There are a number at times.
He would tell you he set several independent screens there. That's what he would say. Feasting open for the jumper. Big rebound by Corzine. At the end of 3, it's the Bulls 73, Celtics 68. Boston points in that third quarter.
We expected a faster-paced game, so did both coaches. It has not been as quick. The defense is what you would expect. Rough and tough. Good.
All right, let's set the lineup for Chicago. Elston Turner, Michael Jordan, Brad Sellers, Gene Banks, and Charles Oakley. Sellers having trouble from out there. That's a good spot for him. Here's Jordan. Elected to give up the perimeter shot from 18. They got a new shot clock. It's down to 15 seconds on this possession. Elston Turner.
Good shot. 7-footer. Penetrating, creating.
Very patient offense by Chicago, even on the part of their scorer, Michael Jordan there. He kept looking for that extra pass.
Right.
Jordan. Bird with the set shot over Sellers.
Never seen anybody that can take the shot like that without gathering himself and jumping, you know, and with his shooting style, it is so tough to play against. We won't even talk about it. Tough.
Against the double and then triple team, Jordan goes to the basket. He's fouled before the drive, though.
The third quarter score of the Houston-Portland game. Houston was up 70-45.
So the Celtics, who were 20-21 on the road this year, have had trouble coming back from big deficits. Nice play by Walton. Jordan in the paint. Taken down hard by Bird. And the foul is on Larry Bird.
All right, look at the post-up. Michael Jordan and Dennis Johnson, of course, does such a good job. But look, he still gets the good shot. It comes up short, and Bird and Michael just collide and both go to the floor.
About $10 million worth of basketball player in a pile.
I said to Larry, hey, you got a haircut, a little shorter. He said, yeah, I'm going to jump higher tonight.
Jordan gets hammered again with the body. Bill Walton.
Okay, now we have a key thing setting up here. Third team foul on the Celtics on this play by Michael, who, look, comes off the screen, takes it inside. This time he'll shoot. That's the third team foul on the Celtics. Bulls none. So the Bulls, if they can get to the line a lot earlier than the Celtics and get early in this quarter, that is real plus for them.
The Chicago Bulls trying to stay alive. Michael Jordan with 25, making 26 points in this game. It's important to the Bulls that Jordan score 40 points as you look at his playoff scoring. When Jordan scores 40 or more points, the Bulls are 22-15 on the year. When he doesn't get 40, the Bulls are only 18-27. He's 14 away from 40. He has a shot.
Rather important to their offense.
7 points, Chicago lead.
Elston Turner, I believe, on the post-up.
Elston Turner. And second, team first for the quarter.
That's the first team foul on Chicago. With 10:19 to go in the ball game, Bulls leading by 7.
That's on Michael. Now, see, that's good for Boston because what they're doing in this one exchange is evening up the team fouls a little bit.
And that's 4 on Michael Jordan.
And that's even more important.
New shot clock, and now 3 team fouls on Boston, 2 on Chicago, just like that. Bird over Sellers. Rebound Banks.
You see Oakley drive Walton out of there, and then he almost knocked Seasting to the floor.
Nice feed to Gene Banks. Won't fall. Walton wanted traveling call. The foul is on Bill Walton. That's his third. Fourth team foul on Boston. The next foul, no matter what the situation, will be a shooting opportunity for Chicago.
That's optimum offense. Get it that deep on the defense.
Dave Corzine for Brad Miller. Robert Parrish checks in.
Check that on Walton. That's Walton's second foul. That could be significant later on.
Corzine's in for Sellers. Now, something that could become a very important factor in this ballgame is if Michael gets another quick foul on him and then gets into foul trouble. I mean, he's in foul trouble, but deep trouble that they would have to get him out for a while.
Big free throw miss by Gene Banks.
Well, that's an example of why those inside fouls like that are good. You take a guy away from a layup and put him on a 15-foot shot. See? Made it a great foul.
Bulls continue to lead by 7 with 9:50 remaining. Bulls have never beaten the Celtics in a playoff game. Partially blocked by Jordan. Rebound Oakley. And he pops Roberts in the mouth with an elbow.
Yeah, he sure did. And the official, John Vantage, right on it. You can't do that. It's a two-shot foul. Now watch. Great play by Bird and Corzine. Watch this. Boop. That could have been very costly. Even more so to Boston. Had he nailed him a little harder, Roberts might be out of this one.
Could have cost him $3,000 or $4,000 in dentures.
Yeah. That's a good rule, though, because that's a dangerous foul.
Roberts gets them both. Chicago leads by 5.
Tremendous key in that third period. Celtics only shot 37%. Chicago 45. You know, we're not seeing the fast pace quite as much because we're not seeing as many turnovers. So therefore, no fast break opportunities off that as much. Teams are doing a great job of getting back. The defense is very good. The shooting percentages, you can't say that's controlling the fast break. That's for sure.
Boston can cut it to 3 or less. Roberts from the perimeter. Red Roberts. It's a 3-point Chicago lead. They're going to call timeout once they get it across the timeline. Chicago had been up by 9. They lead now by 3 with 8:52 remaining in the ball game. They're back within 3.
Well, what happened was Gene Banks was fouled inside, missed the 2 free throws. They go the other way. Oakley gets the elbow. They go to the line. They make those. That could have been a 9-point swing either way. Celtics right back in it.
Bulls by 3, 8:45 to go in the ball game. Jordan. What a move. Missed the shot. Oakley is there. New shot clock.
Oakley does a marvelous job.
They're pounding on Jordan. No whistles are sounding.
That was a good double up.
Corzine from 15.
Nope.
There comes Oakley again. What has not he done tonight? Oakley has not scored like I thought he would with McHale out of the lineup, but he's done about everything else. Oakley is fouled. He'll go to the line.
Must have heard you. Going to walk over there and say, what'd you say score? Going to get to the line.
Parrish. Foul.
See the double up on Michael, so that leaves, guess who? Oakley up, open on the baseline. Bird and Parrish give help and the foul.
2 fouls on Parrish. Oakley often, when he's down low because of the physical player he is, I think looks to make contact prior to going. In other words, a true scorer is thinking of nothing but score.
Oh, no, he's always thinking
of
contact.
body and then score.
In everything, he looks for contact first. Key free throw misses here by Banks and now Oakley.
Oakley with a big free throw miss. Rattles this one home. I think Red Auerbach or Doug Collins would say a little more arc on that shot would help.
Yeah, that was not perfect.
I certainly wouldn't be so pretentious to say it.
Still counts as one.
Bulls by 4. 7:47 remaining. Bird slips inside, and Paxson has to grab it.
Well, see, they have the mismatch because of the screens. Bird with Paxson on it.
14 foul. Larry Bird, 2 shots.
Larry Bird with 19 points in the game. Leading scorer is guess who? Michael Jordan. He has 27. "11 rebounds for Bird. He has 5 assists in this game.
Well, Bird, of course, like McHale, very good at getting fouled and getting to the line and then making them. And one of the things that Doug Collins wants to prevent when McHale is playing is don't put him on the line. And, of course, with Bird out there, try not to put him on the line, and they haven't done that a lot tonight.
Here's the backcourt pressure by Boston. Ainge and Roberts. It's a 2-point Bulls game. This Celtics defense has really risen here. Shot clock to 10.
Keeping the Bulls in perimeter. Tough shot.
A clutch basket by John Paxson. .7:15 remaining. Chicago has to win to stay alive. Bird fouled by Banks.
The foul is on Gene Banks. His 4th penalty.
That's 4 on Banks now.
Well, this is when Bird can take over as well. And, of course, when you put him on the line, count it.
Kevin McHale not dressed tonight. Has the injured ankle from game number 2. Fred Roberts, Bill Walton, and to some degree, Darren Day have filled in. The Celtics now trail by 2. Bulls had led by 9. 7 minutes remaining in the game. Jordan in heavy traffic. Johnson from the baseline. Bird is there. Oakley with another rebound. 16 for Oakley tonight.
His cue on the turnover.
Critical.
Well, Banks trying to hold Bird off. Paxson just laid it out too far to the baseline.
Celtics can tie. 6:25 remaining.
This is where the Bulls have to hold tough and handle the pressure.
Let's see who this foul is on.
While we're looking, and I'll say it's also when the Celtics can apply that great pressure.
That's 5 on Banks. The reason I said let's see is I thought it could have been on Jordan also, but Jordan remains with 5 fouls. Banks has 5. Jordan has 4 fouls. Banks has 5. Jordan takes a rest now.
And free throws for the Celtics playing a key role in the 4th period.
Chicago, known for defense, are going to have to play it now because when Ainge hits this, I said when because he's such a good free throw shooter, it's tied at 80. 6:19 remaining. Jordan getting a rest before the final flurry. It'll be the final flurry of the year unless Chicago wins tonight. Parrish just hammering at Corzine. Eventually, Hugh Evans calls the foul. 3 on Parrish. Both teams in the penalty. Now Banks rests, and the small Chicago lineup is in there. 3 guards, Street, Paxson, and Turner. The big men are Corzine and Oakley.
It's a constant chess game going on. Missed Bulls free throws, made Celtics free throws.
Between them in game number 1, these two teams missed only 2 free throws all night long. One-point Chicago lead. 6 minutes remaining in the game. The Celtics have had to battle Chicago tough in every one of these playoff games. Dennis Johnson with a very big basket off a nice pass.
Well, sure, see, his man doubled down on Bird, so Dennis hits the seam, and Bird finds it.
Now the Celtics have regained the lead by 1. Corzine isolated against Parrish.
See, that's not the best offense. Corzine can't get up in the air over Parrish.
What a play by Johnson. You can almost feel the Celtics regaining their poise. You can almost sense the panic with Chicago, particularly with Jordan out of there. They got to get him back in the game. Larry Bird from long range, just inside the three-point line. The Celtics have regained the lead, 84-81. I predict we'll see Michael Jordan right after this timeout.
Danny Ainge will set a pick for Bird. Bird will come here and get the ball, okay? He will then get the ball, and Dennis Johnson will cut through the seam for the basket. Watch. Beautiful. Layup.
Celtics 84-81, exactly 5 minutes remaining in the game. Bad pass by Sellers, very fortunate from a Chicago viewpoint that it bounced off the hands of Parrish. Jordan has 27 points, Bird 25. In the fourth quarter thus far, Bird 4 out of 5 for 8. Jordan only 1 of 4 for 2 points.
Well, the Celtics defense has been outstanding. Look, there it is again. Roberts with a steal and maybe a save.
But Jordan is there.
Shot clock continued to run. He had to put it up because they counted no possession.
What a heady play by Jordan to be aware
You're right.
of the fact that shot clock was about to buzz down.
Do you say Roberts did not have possession or control? That's what Doug Collins is complaining about. So we should have had a new 24. Oh.
Larry Bird with 10 fourth quarter points. He's now matched Jordan in scoring. Both have 27. Bird has been filling it up in clutch time.
Look at the pressure. It's important that Chicago does not just literally fall apart as they've done a little bit here already in this ball game.
Took the Bulls 7 seconds to get it across the timeline. Shot clock to 9.
Don't want that.
Oakley from the perimeter. Nobody's down for the rebound. Celtics on the trail back. Momentum has gone to the men in green. No question about it here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, and they've taken it. They've taken the momentum to them.
Celtics by 5. 3:47 remaining in the game and in the season for Chicago, unless the Bulls can somehow stem this. One way is by Charles Oakley continuing to rebound. That's 17 Oakley rebounds in this game.
So Perry switching up on all the screens, taking away the jump shots.
Oakley with the offensive tip as Jordan just battled it down low. Jordan with 2 shots on that one is now 1 for 6 shooting in the fourth quarter. Remember, if you look at the Bird-Jordan battle in the fourth, remember when Jordan doesn't get 40 points, the Bulls often lose. They're 18 and 27 when he has less than that. Great pass, Johnson to Bird, and he's fouled.
Super play, and that was a set play for Bird coming off the screen on the baseline on the right side. You'll see the pass. Watch, Dennis will get it. While this is going on, out at the top, Bird is setting his man up, and he comes baseline around the screen.
I was going to say Dennis Johnson is unsung for his efforts, but I think, John, you and I have been singing his praises tonight. Dennis Johnson, in my view, has been a key to the Celtics' comeback and the game, despite the fact that Bird has really been hammering it here in the fourth quarter.
He's done it from the start.
Look at that defense by the Celtics. Corzine's open from the perimeter. Missing out there. Jordan with the loose ball. He's fouled from behind by Ainge. Don't count the basket. It happened prior to the drive. Celtics lead it by 6. 2:47 remaining.
The effort is magnificent by both ball clubs. Michael Jordan absolutely giving everything he has. The thing he hasn't had often tonight is much daylight. He'll beat one man, someone else is there. He'll beat that man, someone else is there. It's very difficult for him to get an easy shot.
Boston came in here during the regular season, beat the Bulls 3 times at Chicago Stadium. Even Jordan is missing for Chicago.
Well, that's been very much the story of this fourth quarter and perhaps the ball game. The Bulls have gotten to the line and missed. The Celtics haven't.
Jordan only 1 out of 2. It's 89-84. Still only a 5-point lead for Boston with 2:43 remaining.
So not straight basket at this point, and Chicago wants to win.
Desperation time for the Bulls. It belongs to Chicago on a Boston turnover. Bulls can pull to within 3. Jordan just keeps with it till he can get it to Corzine. Cannot get the 3-point opportunity.
Boy, Doug Collins, sweating bullets over there. He's working hard, boy. He probably never worked any harder as a player.
Chicago is 7 for 10 from the free throw line in the second half. 70%, not bad. 7 for 11, and that percentage dropping to below acceptable.
Well, the way the Bulls are shooting in the fourth, every time they get inside, you might just take the foul.
Corzine rattles the second one home. It's now a 4-point Celtics lead with 2:18 remaining. So not much damage done by the Boston turnover.
Still time for the Bulls. With Boston very smart. They'll run some clock and go to this man in isolation here.
It's Parrish. He's fouled as he goes down low.
Put a good shooter on the line.
Oakley with the personal foul. That's 4 on Charles Oakley.
Okay, see, they'll go to Bird in the right box in the post-up. He'll read the defense or shoot the ball, but he waits for the double team to come. Parrish that time, shooting again.
Parrish with 16 points. His first points of the fourth quarter. Celtics by 6, 2:04 remaining. Bad pass by Sedale Treat right into the hands of Bird. It's the Boston Celtics score here. Ainge wide open as Chicago is now disoriented.
Yep.
And Doug Collins says timeout. The 8-point Celtics lead with only 1:48 remaining.
To scratch this one out, look at Larry Bird. It's rough out there.
He doesn't even know he's got it. He'll know later when he gets in that shower.
Right. Ow.
There's the free throw situation. Chicago only 3 of 15 in this fourth quarter. It's 93-85 Celtics, 1:36 remaining in the game. Banks gets a 3-point opportunity. Some time remains.
There's time. Don't forget the 3-point shot in professional basketball. Miscue defensively here because they certainly don't want to leave Banks wide open under the basket. Bird left him and went to the wing. Oh, can't get it to go.
Corzine keeps it alive. Oakley. Loose ball foul, Chicago. It's on to nail 3. Braves baseball on tape follows this telecast.
Actually, missing the free throw, had the Bulls been able to get the shot go, might have been a blessing in disguise, but the Celtics hammering in there, come up with the ball with Dennis Johnson going to the line.
Paxson coming back into the ball game. 4-3. Chicago with their opening lineup in there now. Actually, check that. Street is going to stay, and Banks is going to sit down.
Oh, they've got 3 guards in. They're going to look for that 3-point shot.
Dennis Johnson, who has his 21st point on that free throw, had 10 assists in this game. And there are 2 key missing elements for Boston. Wedman, Scott Wedman on the left, and Kevin McHale, for Boston's point of view, only missing tonight's game, we think. But Wedman out for the season.
Well, McHale, if they win this ball game, if the Celtics win it, they will certainly have more time for him to rest.
Paxson for 3. Oakley with another rebound. Misses the left-handed shot. He'll go to the line. Celtics 95-87, 1:16 remaining. Michael Jordan possibly playing in the final game of the 1986-87 campaign. A most valuable player level of season for Michael Jordan. The leading scorer in the NBA tonight. He has been held to 27. Credit Dennis Johnson and other Celtics for sure.
It's been a
with a
team
great
effort.
defensive job.
Yes.
Gene Banks for John Paxson.
Banks back in the ball game for Paxson. He's back in for defensive purposes. If they have a stop in the action again, Paxson will probably come back in for offensive reasons for the 3-point shot.
6-point Celtics lead, 1:16 remaining. Michael Jordan only 9 of 25 tonight. Bird just dribbling it away. Banks can't get to it. Now they give him the foul on Banks. And that'll be all for Banks. That'll be 6.
He can't believe it.
Banks asked first Sedale 3, then John McLaughlin and myself, and then walking off the court, Michael Jordan. Each time he said, "Was that a foul? Was that a foul?"
No, it doesn't matter. Because
the only one
guys
whose
that counts
answer,
called it.
the only answer that counted was already given, I guess. 1:03 remaining. 96-89 Boston. So despite a miracle by the Bulls here, Boston will advance to the second round of the NBA playoffs against either Detroit or Washington.
Well, the Bulls have been in all 3 games, but down the stretch, the Celtics pressure just took them apart.
And that may be symbolic of Michael Jordan's game tonight. Going to the hoop as he has 26 times with the basketball tonight, and at least 2 and often 3 green jerseys draped around him.
That's right. The defense has been outstanding.
8:05 Eastern Time Thursday, Portland will be playing at Houston, and we'll bring that game to you. The first of a doubleheader. Second game, Dallas at Seattle. Playoffs continue on TBS. (97-90) Celtics. 57 seconds remaining in the game now. These Chicago Bulls will be back. They have good draft choice coming up in this draft. They have some fine young players. Remember, Charles Oakley is only finishing his 2nd year as Oakley fouls Dennis Johnson.
Well, assuming the Celtics go on and win this one, the Bulls have had an outstanding year. They've come back from a very difficult season last year. Doug Collins has come in here and we would all, of course, say has done just a marvelous job with this ball club. They, of course, would like to have won a game or 2, and even the series, obviously, against the Boston Celtics.
And he's had a lot of sweat this year, as you see by that statistic.
That's right.
This is currently a Celtics 7-point lead. The bloody Larry Bird and K.C. Jones. You know, often guys like K.C. Jones and Pat Riley get far too little credit because they're coaching so much talent.
That's right. K.C. Jones is just so steady and so solid, and the perfect coach for this Boston Celtics team, obviously.
Now, I think Detroit has to be considered the odds-on favorite to go ahead and beat Washington. May not happen, but you'd have to say that. They have the 2-0 lead and just demolished Washington in the last game. I think a Boston-Detroit matchup is going to be very interesting.
Well, if we get that far, of course, they're going to have to play Philadelphia or Milwaukee, and Detroit and Atlanta could be interesting as well. There's a three-point shot by Oakley.
It's a 5-point game with 47 seconds left.
If they could get the ball back on a turnover and score, the Bulls would still be alive.
Now Boston showing that championship poise. Walton gets the layup.
Well done.
30 seconds remaining. So Boston will go to play the Milwaukee-Philadelphia winner. It'll be Atlanta or Indiana, Detroit or Washington in the bracket of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Another three-pointer by Oakland. This is this. It's just a matter now of the Celtics using up the clock. Walton is fouled by 3 with 16 seconds remaining in the game. So it looks as though the Chicago Bulls are never going to have beaten Boston in their history in a playoff game.
Not to this point, perhaps next year. The Bulls were in good position until Banks went inside for a layup, was fouled, did not make the basket, missed the 2 free throws. Then they go to the other end. The Bulls play good defense on the Celtics, get the ball back, but Oakley gets called for the elbowing foul, and that was the start of the turnaround at that point.
Exactly, John. That's the key to the turnaround for Boston.
And then Bulls could not make free throws. Boston got to the line often and did.
And Larry Bird now with 32 points. He'll be going 32 points as he might not have another opportunity to score, so we'll say he had 32. And Michael Jordan is going to finish this game with 30.
A tough 30. Tells you how great he is, because they did not come easily.
32 for Larry Bird as he goes to the bench, and Darren Day and Connor Henry and Sam Vincent, and the Celtic end of the Celtic bench comes into the ballgame. Likewise with Chicago. Pete Myers, Mike Brown into the ballgame. So the Celtics have the best of all worlds. It looks as though K.C. Jones made a good decision about McHale tonight. They were able to win without him. He gets an extra day to rest a 3-game sweep.
Well, and Bob, the Philadelphia-Milwaukee series could very well go till Sunday, so they may not be starting until next week in Boston. Celtics could have a week off.
Darren Day with the lay-in at the buzzer. And this season is history for the Chicago Bulls. And the Celtics advance. The first team to advance in the playoffs, the Boston Celtics, the defending world champions, with a 3-game sweep of the Chicago Bulls. It's Celtics 105, Bulls 94.